Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog. And today I have an unexpected book haul for you, and it is a second-hand book haul, and I spent I think a maximum of £12 on these books. Was I supposed to pick up any books? No. Could I resist? Also no. If you are new here, don't forget, if you like what you see, to subscribe to this channel. Your continued support means a lot, so thank you guys so much. Let's get into the accidental secondhand book review. The first few books are from secondhand bookshops in Cardiff. I went with my partner Matt and my friends Ollie and Shauna at the weekend. We visited a secondhand bookshop in the market and also a secondhand bookshop in one of the arcades. So these are all independent bookshops. The first book that we found was the second book in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey, Caliban's War. Now, The Expanse is a TV series that me and Matt watched and absolutely loved, and this is the second book in the series. We already have the first book. We loved the TV series and decided we should read the books. Matt's uncle Pete has read the books and watched the series and says the books are better. So I'm very excited to read this as well as Matt is. Let me read you guys the blurb. This is the second book in a series. Just be aware of that for the blurb. We are not alone. On Jupiter's largest moon, a Martian Marine watches as her platoon is slaughtered by a monstrous super soldier. On Earth, a high-level politician struggles to prevent interplanetary war from reigniting. And on Venus, an alien protomolecule has overrun the planet, wreaking massive, mysterious changes and threatening to spread out into the solar system. Once again, Jim Holden and the crew of the Rocinante find themselves in the eye of the storm. A missing child may hold the key to humanity's survival, but only if they can find her first. Caliban's War is the powerful second novel in the New York Times bestselling Expanse series, following on from the Hugo-nominated Leviathan Wakes. And it does have praise on the back. We have As Close as You'll Get to a Hollywood Blockbuster in Book Form, io9.com, Tense and Thrilling Sci-Fi Now, and Interplanetary Adventure the Way It Ought to Be Written, George R.R. Martin. We also have on the front, This is the Future the Way It Was Supposed to Be, Wall Street Journal on Leviathan Wakes. That's a review on the first book in the series. So if you haven't guessed, it's science fiction. It sounds fun. It's got 3 different storylines going on at the same time. It's interplanetary. It's got Martians. It's got humans from Earth. It's futuristic. It is the idea of what could happen if some of us go to space. Love it. Second book in the series. We found this at the secondhand bookshop in the market, I believe. The next 2 are books we found in the arcade in Cardiff. The first one of which is Trudy Canavan's The Traitor Queen, and this is the third book in the Traitor Spy trilogy. I have a little bit of a story here. I have The Rogue by Trudy Canavan, which is the second book in this series. A book I do not have, The Ambassador's Mission, which is the first book in this series. So I now have book 2 and 3 of this series. I'm still searching for book 1, but because it's a series that I haven't got the whole one of, I'm currently reading the Black Magician trilogy by Trudy Canavan and absolutely loving it. So I needed to get this series. This is book 3. We're on the hunt for book 1, The Ambassador's Mission. Again, when I read the blurb, do bear in mind this is the third book in a series. I can read this, I'll forget the blurb by the time I get to it. The triumphant conclusion to the Traitor Spy trilogy. Events are building to a climax in Sakaka as Lorcan returns from his exile with the traitor rebels. The Traitor Queen has given Lorcan the task of brokering an alliance between his people and the traitors, and Lorcan has had to become a feared black magician in order to harness the power of an entirely new kind of gemstone magic. This knowledge could transform the Guild of Magicians or make Lorcan an outcast forever. The Traitor Queen is a fitting end for Sanaya and her story. Canavan's novels are a must-read for all fans of the fantasy genre. Oh my god! So this is part of... What? It has the same characters as the Black Magician trilogy? I had no... It does not say that in this bit. What? So does that that mean I have to read The Priestess of the White, Last of the Wilds, and Voice of the Gods before I read this trilogy? Comment down below, please help me. I don't know what order to read these book trilogies in, because I'm busy reading the Black Magician trilogy, which is The Magician's Guild, The Novice, and I'm currently reading The High Lord. There is a vlog of those reads coming out. That link is above me now. It then says Age of the Five, which is another trilogy, Priestess of the White, Last of the Wilds, Voice of the Gods. And this one is the Traitor Spy trilogy, The Ambassador's Mission, looking for the Rogue, the Traitor Queen. Do I have to read the Age of the Five before I read this trilogy? Do I have the Age of the Five? I might have the Age of the Five. Comment, please save me before I make a dreadful mistake and read the other one first. Or if I read this one and then is the other one back in time? Is the other one different characters? I don't know. Book from the arcade in Cardiff. The second book from the arcade in Cardiff and the final book from our Cardiff trip is The Telling by Ursula K. Le Guin. I recently read The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. That link is above me now, and I love that book. Ursula K. Le Guin's writing is astounding. The premise of the books is astounding, and they are bloody small books with a lot of impact and a lot of detail. She astounds me. I'll read you guys the blurb of this one. From award-winning author Ursula K. Le Guin comes a highly anticipated addition to her acclaimed Hainish cycle, a social anthropology of the future, fascinating and utterly believable. Once a culturally rich world, the planet of Akka has been utterly transformed by technology. Records of the past have been destroyed and citizens are strictly monitored, but an official observer from Earth named Sooty has learned of a group of outcasts who live in the wilderness. They still believe in the ancient ways and still practice its lost religion, the Telling. Intrigued by their beliefs, Sooty joins them on a sacred pilgrimage into the mountains and into the dangerous terrain of her own heart, mind, and soul. This does have reviews. We have The Telling will make you anticipate tomorrow a bit differently than you did yesterday. That's from Denver Rocky Mountain News. Powerfully moving. This is humanist sci-fi at its best. Le Guin in top form. Farron Miller Locus. Her language, which sings true in every line, is simple and profound, and her storytelling is sure, from Los Angeles Times. I was enthralled, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And on the front, a pure storyteller at the height of her powers, Peter S. Beagle, and spellbinding, the Denver Post. It's another science fiction. So far we have a science fiction, a fantasy, and a science fiction. I'm getting big on my science fiction recently, and I'm not mad about this. Ursula K. Le Guin, fantastic writer. Do read her works. We're basically slowly collecting her works from secondhand bookshops. I have very high hopes for this book. The Left Hand of Darkness I gave 5 stars and will read again. The next book I actually got from a secondhand bookshop in our hometown, and that is Ursula K. Le Guin's Tales from Earthsea. This is a collection of stories from Earthsea. I haven't actually read Earthsea yet, and I don't believe we have a copy, which will be rectified. But I saw this in the secondhand bookshop, so could not pass up the opportunity to grab it, because when you see a secondhand book, it's cheap, it's there, you gotta get it whilst it is. Let me read you guys the blurb for this one. Here, collected together for the first time, are 5 magical tales of Earthsea, the fantastical realm created by a master storyteller that has held readers enthralled for more than 3 decades. The Finder, a novella set 100 years before A Wizard of Earthsea, when the archipelago was dark and troubled, reveals how the famous school of Rogue was started. Ooh, so I can read that before Earthsea. In the Bones of the Earth, the wizards who first taught Jed demonstrate how humility is great enough, if great enough, can reign in an earthquake. Sometimes wizards can pursue alternative careers, and Dark Rose and Diamond is also a delightful story of young courtship. Return to the time when Jed was Archmage of Earthsea in On the High Marsh, a story about love of power and the power of love. And Dragonflight, showing how a determined woman can break the glass ceiling of male magedom, provides a dragon bridge between Thanau and Otherwind. This enchanted collection is rounded off with an essay about Earthsea's history, people, languages, literature, and magic. We then have Le Guin makes a triumphant return. The publication of this collection is a major event in fantasy literature from Publishers Weekly, and the magic of Earthsea remains as potent, as wise, and as necessary as anyone could dream, from Neil Gaiman. So it's a collection of short stories from Earthsea. It sounds like you can read this without having read Earthsea. It is in a fantasy boost. So far we have two fantasy and two sci-fi. I couldn't pass up this cover. Look, it's just so beautiful. One thing I will say is the science fiction covers of Ursula K. Le Guin, so when they become classics, are a bit dull. So when I find ones that are more related to their original fantasy roots, I have to grab them. We then have 3 books which were free. That's right, they were free. A cafe in my town has a free bookshelves in their cafe. You donate books and you can take books. So we've given them some books, we've taken some books. It's just an ever-changing thing. And we went in with 3 of our friends and I picked up 3 books because I have absolutely no self-control around books. The first of those books has a cat on the cover. It is T.S. Eliot, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It's just one of those super cute reads, I think. T.S. Eliot is a very famous poet, and they were in my head because I think Matt's mum, Bev, sent us a T.S. Eliot quote, and neither myself nor Matt had really read any T.S. Eliot, so I'm going to correct that by reading this. Let me read you guys the blurb for this one. Cats. Some are sane, some are mad, and some are good and some are bad. Enjoy the show with all your favourite cats, starring Macavity, the mystery cat, Mr. Mistopheles, the original conjuring cat, Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer, and many more, from T.S. Eliot's classic poetry collection. It just sounds fun, okay? It's got cute pictures, it's poetry. I'm going to have a good, easy time reading that. And the final 2 books I picked up from the local cafe, it is Little Green Refills in Abergavenny. If you are looking for a lovely cafe, they are also a eco refill shop. They do really nice gifts and they have books you can pick up for free and donate books to them. And these books are by the same author, The Witcher, The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. Let me read you guys the blurb for this one. Geralt of Rivia is a witcher. He uses legendary power and lifelong training to protect the innocent by hunting the vile fiends that ravage the land. But not all monsters are evil, and not everything fair is good. Andrzej Sapkowski, winner of the World Fantasy Lifetime Achievement Award, created an international phenomenon with his Witcher series that has inspired a best-selling game and a major Netflix show. The Last Wish is the perfect introduction to Sapkowski's epic Witcher world, where one man holds the line against the demons that plague humanity, and it was translated by Danusia Stock. I have not read any of the Witcher series, but I have watched the Witcher TV series, and I know it's a big series and it has aged. But when I saw this was free and it's a good starting point, it's quite short, I thought I have to pick it up and try it. And along those lines, the last book is The Witcher Sword of Destiny, also by Andrzej Sapkowski. I can't say that name. And I'll read you guys the blurb for this one. So it's the exact same blurb, however, this is in the second collection of short stories after The Last Wish. Join Geralt of Rivia as he battles monsters, demons, and prejudices alike. First collection of short stories, this is the second, and after these you would then go into reading the actual full Witcher books. I haven't read any of The Witcher. I thought, let's pick these up, let's give The Witcher a try in some shorter forms. If I like it, it's a fantasy series I might get into. And that is it for this book review. I think I just slowly slumped throughout that. But that is it. This is the collection. As I said, I spent probably about £12 in total to get all these lovely books. We have the Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey, the second book in the Expanse series, that's science fiction. We have The Traitor Queen by Trudy Canavan, the third book in the Traitor Spy trilogy, that's fantasy. We have The Telling by Ursula K. Le Guin, which is science fiction. Ursula Le Guin Tales from Earthsea, a collection of short stories from Earthsea, that is a fantasy. We have Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot, poetry. And then we have 2 books. We have The Witcher, The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski, and The Witcher Sword of Destiny by Andrzej Sapkowski. I'm never going to say that name right. Please comment down below. How do I pronounce that name? How is it done? But that is it for this book haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Tumblr. I post your bookish pictures as well as writing tips and unboxings on there. Thank you so much for joining me on my accidental secondhand book haul. We got some science fiction and fantasy to read. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!